The drilling industry plays a vital role in the exploration and extraction of valuable natural resources from beneath the Earth's surface. Pursuing these resources is not without risk. However, by understanding these accidents and their contributing factors, we can glean valuable lessons and insights to help prevent future accidents and ensure the well-being of workers, protect the environment, and maintain public trust. Let me take you through 10 oil rig accidents. Number 10. Deepwater Horizon Oil Spill. The Deepwater Horizon Oil Spill, also known as the BP oil spill or the Gulf of Mexico oil spill, was one of the most significant environmental disasters in recent history. It occurred in 2010 and was a result of the explosion and subsequent sinking of the Deepwater Horizon drilling rig. On April 20, 2010, the Deepwater Horizon, owned by Transocean and leased by British Petroleum, was drilling an exploratory well called Macon-Dew in the Macon-Dew prospect, located approximately 40 miles off the coast of Louisiana, in the Gulf of Mexico. A blowout, a sudden and uncontrolled release of oil and gas, took place when a surge of high-pressure methane gas escaped from the well and ignited on the rig, causing a massive explosion. The rig subsequently sank 2 days later, leaving the wellhead on the seabed to release oil and gas into the surrounding environment. Efforts to control and seal the well proved challenging and took months to complete. The Deepwater Horizon oil spill continued for a staggering 87 days, during which time millions of barrels of crude oil were released into the Gulf of Mexico. The spill had severe environmental, economic, and social impacts. The oil slick spread across vast areas of the ocean, coating coastlines, marshes, and beaches, and affecting numerous marine species, birds, and other wildlife. Fishing and tourism industries suffered significant losses, and local communities faced long-term ecological and economic challenges. Number 9. Piper Alpha Disaster. The Piper Alpha disaster is one of the most devastating accidents in the history of the offshore oil and gas industry. It occurred on July 6, 1988, on the Piper Alpha oil rig, located in the North Sea off the coast of Scotland. Piper Alpha was an oil production platform operated by Occidental Petroleum Ltd. The platform primarily extracted oil from the Piper oil field, but it also received and processed oil from nearby fields. The disaster was triggered by a massive explosion resulting from a gas leak in one of the platform's gas condensate pumps. The explosion led to a series of fires that rapidly spread throughout the platform. Efforts to contain the fires and evacuate personnel were hampered by multiple factors, including the lack of effective emergency response systems and communication failures. The incident prompted a comprehensive investigation to determine the causes of the disaster. It was revealed that a combination of factors contributed to the tragedy, including inadequate maintenance practices, flawed safety systems, and shortcomings in the design and operation of the platform. There were also deficiencies in the emergency response procedures and inadequate training of personnel. The Piper Alpha disaster led to significant changes in the offshore oil and gas industry's safety regulations and practices. It prompted a comprehensive review of safety standards, emergency response protocols, and personnel training. Number 8. Montera Oil Spill. The Montera Oil Spill was an offshore drilling accident that occurred in the Timor Sea, off the northwest coast of Australia. The incident took place on August 21, 2009, and resulted in a significant oil spill that lasted for over 2 months. The well experienced a blowout, which caused an uncontrolled release of oil and gas into the surrounding environment. Efforts to contain the spill and stop the flow of oil were initially challenging due to the remote location of the well and the harsh weather conditions in the region. It took 74 days to successfully stop the flow of oil by drilling relief wells and sealing the wellhead. The Montera oil spill released an estimated 4,500 barrels of oil per day into the Timor Sea. resulting in a total discharge of approximately 90,000 barrels of oil. The spill spread over a large area, affecting marine life, coastal ecosystems, and the livelihoods of local communities. The environmental impact of the spill was significant. It caused extensive damage to coral reefs, mangroves, and other marine habitats. The spill also had adverse effects on various species of fish, seabirds, and other wildlife in the area. Number 7. Ixtaki Oil Spill. The Ixtaki Oil Spill was one of the largest and most significant oil spills in history. It occurred in the Bay of Campeche in the Gulf of Mexico in 1979. The spill was a result of a blowout on the drilling rig named Ixtaki, which was owned by the Mexican government's oil company, Pemex. The blowout was triggered by a failure in the blowout preventer, a safety device designed to control well pressure and prevent uncontrolled releases of oil and gas. On June 3, 1979, the blowout caused a massive explosion and fire on the rig, leading to its collapse. The wellhead was damaged, and oil began gushing out into the surrounding waters. It took Pemex almost 10 months to successfully cap the well and stop the flow of oil. The Ixtaki spill released an estimated 3 to 4 million barrels of oil into the Gulf of Mexico, making it one of the largest oil spills in history at the time. The oil slick covered a vast area and reached the shores of Texas, Mexico, and other parts of the Gulf Coast. Number 6. Ecofis Bravo Blowout. The Sleipner platform incident refers to an offshore drilling accident that occurred in the North Sea on November 23, 1991. The Sleipner platform, operated by Equinox, experienced a significant gas blowout and subsequent explosion. The incident began when a high-pressure gas release occurred during drilling operations on one of the platform's wells. The gas blowout resulted in an explosion and fire on the platform. The crew quickly initiated evacuation procedures, and all 228 personnel on board were safely evacuated. The explosion caused substantial damage to the platform's topside facilities, including living quarters and production equipment. The investigation revealed that the blowout occurred due to a failure in the well's cementing process, which led to the gas release. Inadequate well design, insufficient cementing, and poor quality control were identified as contributing factors to the incident. Number 5. Make-and-Do Well Blowout. The Make-and-Do Well Blowout was a catastrophic offshore drilling accident that occurred on April 20, 2010, in the Gulf of Mexico, off the coast of Louisiana. The blowout occurred on the Deepwater Horizon drilling rig, owned by Transocean and leased by British Petroleum, during the exploration and development of the Make-and-Do oil prospect. The incident began when a surge of natural gas and oil from the well overwhelmed the drilling crew's efforts to control the pressure. The gas ignited, causing a massive explosion. The Deepwater Horizon rig sank 2 days later, causing the wellhead to rupture and release an estimated 4.9 million barrels of crude oil into the Gulf of Mexico over the course of 87 days. The Make-and-Do Well Blowout was the largest offshore oil spill in U.S. history, causing extensive environmental and economic damage to the region. The oil slick covered a vast area of the Gulf of Mexico, reaching the shores of Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, and Florida. Number 4. Setco 135F rig explosion. The Setco 135F rig explosion was a tragic offshore drilling accident that occurred on November 19, 1984, in the North Sea off the coast of Norway. The Setco 135F drilling rig, owned by Setco 4X and operated by Statoil, experienced a blowout and subsequent explosion. The incident began when a gas blowout occurred during drilling operations on the well. The blowout led to a massive explosion and fire on the rig. The explosion and subsequent fire caused extensive damage to the rig, leading to its eventual sinking. The accident remains one of the deadliest offshore drilling accidents in history. The investigation into the Setco 135F rig explosion revealed that the blowout occurred due to a failure in the well's cementing and casing procedures. Inadequate safety measures, including the absence of a sub-sea blowout preventer, were also identified as contributing factors to the severity of the incident. Number 3. Ectaki Huang Permanente Fire. The Ectaki Huang Permanente fire was a major offshore drilling accident that occurred on April 1, 2015, in the Bay of Campeche in the Gulf of Mexico. The incident took place at the Ectaki Huang Permanente platform, owned by Pemex, the Mexican state-owned oil company. The fire started when a high-pressure pipeline carrying hydrocarbons connected to the platform ruptured, leading to a release of oil and gas. The released hydrocarbons ignited, causing a massive fire on the platform. The fire engulfed the processing area of the platform, causing extensive damage. The firefighting efforts were challenging due to the intensity of the fire and the remote location of the platform. It took several days to fully extinguish the blaze and bring the situation under control. The investigation into the Ectaki Huang Permanente fire revealed that the incident was caused by a combination of factors, including the aging infrastructure, lack of maintenance, and inadequate safety protocols. Pemex faced criticism for its safety practices and operational procedures. Number 2. Elgin Franklin gas leak. The Elgin Franklin gas leak was a significant offshore drilling incident that occurred in the North Sea, approximately 240 kilometers east of Aberdeen, Scotland. The incident took place on the Elgin Franklin platform, which is operated by Total SA, a French oil and gas company. The gas leak was discovered on March 25, 2012, when workers noticed a significant release of natural gas from an abandoned well that was being used for storage. The leak was believed to have originated from a casing failure in the well, resulting in an uncontrolled release of gas. The gas leak posed significant risks due to the potential for ignition and explosion. As a precautionary measure, all personnel were evacuated from the platform, and a safety cordon was established around the area. Efforts were made to control the gas leak and minimize the environmental impact. Total initiated a well intervention operation to pump heavy mud into the well to stop the flow of gas. It took approximately 7 weeks to successfully stop the gas leak and regain control of the well. Number 1. Ocean Ranger sinking. The Ocean Ranger sinking was a tragic offshore drilling accident that occurred on February 15, 1982, off the coast of Newfoundland, Canada. The Ocean Ranger was a semi-submersible drilling rig owned and operated by Ocean Drilling and Exploration Company and was engaged in drilling operations in the Hibernia oil field. During the evening of February 14, a severe winter storm with hurricane-force winds and high waves battered the rig. The extreme weather conditions caused the Ocean Ranger to tilt and eventually capsize, leading to its sinking in the early morning hours of February 15. The sinking of the Ocean Ranger raised significant concerns about the safety of offshore drilling operations. The investigation identified a combination of factors that contributed to the sinking of the Ocean Ranger. These included design deficiencies, inadequate training, failure of critical systems, and the extreme weather conditions encountered during the storm.